You can often get away with quite a bit of unmatch. Basically, if half of it matches, your graft will take slower, so you know it may not break when the trees break, but it may break through the summer. In fact, I can show you one of my grafts where it got knocked over not once but twice. And
did it break it?
It didn't completely break it, and that's
Did you have to redo it? Did you have to?
The first time round I redid it, then now it's
it got knocked over
like
again.
that. Yeah, so it's now horizontal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I suggest you get that into soil before its roots start to dry, with a label, always useful.
Yeah.
So it's your russet, and hopefully.
So could you show us the graft that you'd knocked?
Yes,
you
can come and have a look at mine that's a year old. Yeah.
Thank you. Because you see, like trees growing in wild that have twisted on each other and they join up, don't they?
If they rub on each other, they will self-grow. Wow. So these were all grafted this time last year, and you see that little one there.
Right.
Yeah. It's got knocked out, and so I assumed,
I see it,
so I assumed it wasn't going to grow.
But it's continuing growing.
But it has.
Is that enough room between each?
Well, these are now ready to be moved into a permanent position.
Oh, okay, so this isn't a permanent.
No, this is just to check, and every single one's actually taken.
Yeah, wow, it's good, isn't it?
So, yes, no, these are, I do some Yorkshire metal trustic and Scotland, so these are all actually Scottish varieties. So, in fact, we're going to be going up in a couple of weeks' time to find about that. Yes. Oh, so many.
Well, Lisa asked me to bring my brother got a terrier.
Oh.
But she's not very well, so unfortunately she's been given vaccine.
Oh no. Oh dear.
So she's just at home having
Yes. Yes. Oh dear. So you can see the different way in which they grow. Sometimes you've left with 3 buds. Very rare do all 3 grow. You can see where the Y shape there, quite a few just on the end there, where the top bud and the second bud is. So
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it depends what you want to do. If you want to grow, you know, a tree with a decent trunk, you stop the side branch. But what I want to do with quite a few of these is turn them into stepovers. So I'm already on the way. I've got 2 branches going. The stepovers are single tier espalier. So they're the ones that you can put around the edge of, say, a veg plot or something like that. Yeah, they're, you know, it's quite, yeah.
They look really healthy and happy.
They, I mean, the soil down here is certainly very satisfactory.
How old are these?
I did those this time last year. Or a few weeks later.
That's crazy.
So, so just all those. These be about 3-year-olds, because of course I'm an idiot that does harrogate show, so I need trees in blossom in pots to take to do the stand.
How long does it take for them to eventually fruit?
Well, this is where your rootstock comes in. The M27, it will fruit. You know, those would fruit this year, but the snag is that then impedes their growth. It stops them because, of course, they're putting all the energy into the fruit rather than into growing. So you have to be very hard-hearted and take the fruit off. Yes.
They don't need any support, though, do they? Because of the rootstock. They're like really
well, I mean, these are fine, but as they get bigger, you know, especially if you want to train them, you do need to support them. Things like the stepovers, you know, we put a wire in at the height we want our arms at. Similarly with the espalier, you know, we put the wires at the different levels. Cordons, you again put wires at about that sort of interval. you put a cane across and you actually tie your trunk to that cane. So it goes like that. Or you can do it like that. Yes. So, you know, you can
Got like a body popping move. Like.
Don't think you can do it that much, but, but you know, there's all sorts of things that you can do.
That's amazing.
So then I've got where I've been budding is the other way of propagating trees, and that's what we've got further up. If you want to have a quick look. You can see the bud just below where the tape is. There's a bud attached on the. I think that one's one of those has failed. Those have failed. There's one in there. The next one's also got a bud still in, and up there. So it's a different way. So you do the budding in summer, but they don't grow out till now. So you're looking at 18 months for your cycle from starting to getting a tree.
So when you say budding, have you like cut back to the Cambrian layer to encourage the bud to grow?
No,
right.
You cut a single bud out on a shield, and you then do, I mean I've done tree budding here, you then do a tree through the bark.
Right.
That's what the budding knife has, that opening on the back.
So a different type of grafting.
A different type of grafting, yes. Or you can do chip budding, where you cut out a shield shape, and you've got to cut out a shield shape exactly the same on your trunk.
Right.
You slip them in, bind them up for about 6 weeks, and take the tape off.
Yeah, we
So
definitely have to come
what's
back on.
the advantage of doing this instead of the other one?
It's a different time of year. If these fail, you've got your rootstock and you can graft it now.
So, yeah, you've just got more
Health
chance of
and
more
braces.
trees.
Yes. You're making sure that you've got a tree off that rootstock.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've got two different graftings on the same rootstock?
You could do, but no. I mean,
okay.
basically you bud.
You've got a backup.
And I usually you've got a backup.
Yeah.
So if your bud fails, I'll know now because they'll drop out.
Right.
And I go along and give them, and then I can cut it down and I can graft on that tree. So I've not lost a rootstock. And if that fails, you can keep your rootstock growing and do it again next year.
Because I hear you can graft at different times of the year, is it?
You can bud at any time that you have a dormant bud, whereas grafting has to be done with
Winter
dormant sign and an active rootstock.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'll come
Get your
down
head
on
round
you.
it.
I'll come down on your sessions on Thursday as well and do a few
I
bits.
say it's every fortnight, so it's not next Thursday.
What time is it?
We usually start about 10:30. Between 10:30 and 2, I think, is the norm. So, but you know,
Turn up round about.
turn up when you're ready. Go when you're ready. You know,
Sounds good.
I don't
Yeah,
know
what
about
time are you
going.
there,
We'll
sir?
come
about
back.
2 o'clock usually, yeah. It's such a lovely day today.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
Glorious. Hello. Where are you going?
Normalise you.
Story.